Hello there and welcome to the weekly Outside Views report on British politics. The British economy has avoided a recession for the time being. In the final quarter of 22, economic output, the GDP, stagnated compared to the previous quarter, as the Statistics Office ONS announced on Friday in London. Analysts had expected this development, but were unsure if it really happens. The economy had already contracted in the third quarter, which is why there was a risk of a technical recession. However, at minus 0.2%, economic development in the summer was somewhat more favorable than previously known. According to the ONS, the British economy grew by 4% in 2022 as a whole. In the previous year, it was 7.6% growth due to catch-up effects after the difficult COVID year 2020. However, economic output is currently still 0.8% below pre-COVID levels. Development in the final quarter was weighed down by manufacturing, which shrank by 0.2%. In contrast, the construction sector grew by 0.3%, while the service sector stagnated. According to a media report, the British Financial Supervisory Authority FCA is investigating against the British financial institution Barclays for alleged abuses in compliance and money laundering prevention. In view of the high number of anti-money laundering measures taken, the FCA requested an independent audit from Barclays last year. That's what the Financial Times reported, citing people familiar with the matter. An external consulting company is to prepare an audit report and suggest improvements. The regulator declined to comment, and Barclays could not immediately be reached for comment by media. Last year, FCA fined Barclays £8.4 million for failing to provide sufficient information about their fees, according to the authority. Jared O'Meara tried to obtain British tax money with a made-up organisation. And now the former MP has been convicted. So this former British MP has been sentenced to 4 years in prison for using falsified statements to include the costs of his cocaine use as expenses. That was decided by a court in the English city of Leeds, as the British news agency PA reported on Thursday. Jared O'Meara is said to have attempted to illegitimately get a total of £50,000 in taxpayers' money. Among other things, he submitted documents from an organization that allegedly works for people with autism. But the organization did not exist, as it turned out later. And the address given by O'Meara was that of a McDonald's. He pretended to hire a friend as an employee and also charged the costs for this, although this friend did not bring anything in return. O'Meara was elected for the Labour Party in the Sheffield-Hallam constituency in 2017, ousting former Deputy Prime Minister and former Liberal Democrat leader Nick Clegg. However, numerous allegations ranging from homophobic statements online to harassing an employee with inappropriate WhatsApp messages quickly made him an outsider. He left the Labour Party but retained his MP post until the next election in December 2019. Thanks to the post-pandemic recovery, the Scotch whisky industry has exported significantly more over the past year. The Scotch Whisky Association announced on Friday that exports were worth more than £6 billion for the very first time. Exports increased by 37% to £6.2 billion. In particular, sales to Taiwan, Singapore, India and China have increased significantly. That is why the Asia-Pacific region has replaced the EU as the largest sales market. In terms of volume sold, India overtook previous leader France. In view of the negotiations on a British-Indian free trade agreement, the industry is hoping for even stronger growth. Germany is still in the top 10. I'm mentioning this because I'm sitting there. At £202 million, the export value to the Federal Republic rose by 36%. The volume increased by 48% to 67.7 million litre bottles. Association Chief Marc spoke of a milestone. In a year of significant economic headwinds and disruptions to supply chains, the Scotch whisky industry has continued to be an anchor for growth, he says. The industry has ensured investments and jobs across the country. And this concludes this week's report on British politics. You'll see my next one tomorrow on European politics, and I'll see you there. I'll be back.